Welcome back to this feisty, plucky little film review channel with the moral glamour of the underdog fighting its corner in a world rigged against it by big media. Sarah Polley's sober, sombre ensemble picture Women Talking stars Claire Foy, Jessie Buckley, Frances McDormand and others as traumatised female members of a remote, patriarchal religious colony, and it's a heartfelt new engagement with a Me Too debate, reminding us that the world of Margaret Atwood's The Handmaid's Tale really does exist, more literally than you think.
We could not endure any more violence.
We have been preyed upon like animals. Maybe we should respond like animals.
How would you feel if in your entire life it never mattered what you thought? When we've liberated ourselves, we will have to ask ourselves who we are.
Women Talking is based on the horrific real-life mass rape case from 2011 in a religious Mennonite community in Bolivia. Supposedly God-fearing men had, over a period of 4 years or more, been spraying farm animal anesthetic into the bedrooms of sleeping wives, daughters and mothers and raping them, and later blaming Satan or the women's own hysterical imaginations. 7 perpetrators were finally arrested and convicted, but the colony's entire male population was arguably complicit in turning a blind eye. This movie is adapted from the novel about the case by Miriam Toews, who herself once took an acting role in Carlos Regades's movie Silent Light, set in a Mennonite community in Mexico. The film imagines the women left all alone on their farmstead to discuss what has happened, while the menfolk, apparently nearly all of them, have gone to the nearest town to post bail. They decide to take a vote on 3 options: do nothing at all, stay and fight, or flee the community. They also have to decide whether or not they should forgive their assailants, having been assured by their sorrowingly unrepentant elders that if they don't, they will be excommunicated and excluded from heaven. The movie thinks its way intuitively into the darkest spaces of violence and survival and attempts to give women a voice where they had none. It is, as the opening title says, an act of female imagination. And if the result is just a little stagey and verbose, telling rather than showing the rage and the fear, it is also a calm and focused way of addressing ethical issues. There are times, admittedly, when these characters resemble hyper-articulate campus liberals, although the idiom does create a consistent kind of fluency. In discussing the very notion of forgiveness, and emphasising that this is not always a matter of weakness or appeasement, but moral rigour, the women's discussion often sounds like a kind of Christian socialist symposium. Yet the film indirectly challenges us to consider what has happened to the real victims in the actual case. Has the criminal conviction made the women's lives better, or made a difference since then? And come to think of it, did Harvey Weinstein's conviction make a real difference? I can't help thinking that in the real world, the women would have been much more aware of practicalities. Stay and fight? How does that work? And if they want to flee, then that might have to be more like a prison escape. They would need to leave right away before their brutal menfolk come back, catch them and bring them back. And they would need to have thought really where exactly they were going and where, for example, they were going to spend the first night away from misogynist captivity. The rather abstract conversation here doesn't convey much in the way of urgency or specificity, but there is a sustained moral seriousness in Sarah Polley's work, a willingness to confront pain. That's it. As always, I need you to give this vlog a like and a share on your socials, and of course, I need you to subscribe to this channel, because if you don't, you will not be able to look at your reflection in the mirror from now on without retching with moral revulsion. So, subscribe and leave a comment to say that you've subscribed, giving your wholehearted endorsement to my digital brand. Also, please check out my reviews at The Guardian and become a member of The Guardian. And lastly, but not leastly, please buy my book, The Films That Made Me, an edited selection of my essays and reviews. See you next time.